Hello and welcome you once again in this new session of English literature, and today's topic is a poem, a very well-known poem from Roald Dahl about the television. Television, written by Roald Dahl. As in this poem, Roald want to say about that how much the television is affecting to the new generation. So now let's start with the poem. The most important things, it start from here. The most important things we have learned so far as children are concerned is never let them near, or better still, just don't install. The idiotic thing at all, in almost every house we have watched being gaping at the screen, they roll and slope and lounge about absolutely until they are absolutely happen, uh, drunk. So these lines, as the poem of television by Roald Dahl, is said that they are unable to take the eyes off the screen. They means the children. They are fascinated and intoxicated by the meaningless entertainment that is churned out on TV. They are lazy around in front of the television and gape to the screen. They lost the capacity to think. They are watching so much of TV that they are now have no capacity of thinking also. It is also prevent them from using their imaginations, their creative way. They laze around in the front of television. They are always just sitting or sleeping on the bed and they are just watching the TV screen. It also prevents them from using their imaginations in a creative way. The poet here bemoans the fact and the feels that parents should encourage children to read books instead of watching TV. The poet uses the rhyming couplets, the use of the verbs like loll, prop, and lounge aptly describe the postures adopted by the children while watching televisions. Therefore, the poet here speaks as if he has undertaken there as a long research on the bad effect of watching televisions by visiting in a large number of households in Britain, and almost in every houses he found that children are lazy. They are all whole day they are wasting their time by watching the TV screen, TVs. He next indulged in a bit of exaggerations that is nonetheless amusing when he says that sometimes the children stare so hard that their eyeballs fall off. Now, Roald Dahl in the second stanza he is saying, "Oh yes, start from here, oh yes. Oh, yes, we know that it keeps them still. They don't climb up the in window still. They never fly for kick or punch. They leave you free to cook the lunch and wash the dishes in the sink, but they never stop to think, to wonder. These does it's believed too." Then, in an bold letter, he's saying, "It rots the sense in the head, it kills the imaginations dead, it clogs and clusters of the mind, it makes the child so dull and blind he could no longer understand a fantastic fantasy of the fairyland. He cannot think, he only sees. He only see what he is saying. A very important thing is saying that poet admits that he knows that televisions can be convenient way to keep the children occupied. All the mothers try to keep all the children to make occupied to work there to complete their work. While watching television, children never cause trouble to throw any tantrums. As a result, their parents can go about doing their whole household work, whole chorus without any interruptions. However, parents do not stop to consider what television might to do with the children. And the capital letter it is said that poet emphasizes that they carry the main message of this poem. What is this message? This message is that watching too much television fill up the minds of the children with useless facts, while at the same time destroying their ability to create and to understand the world of fantasy in their imaginations. It takes away their ability to think as they only keep staring at the television screen. Almost they are losing their thinking capacity, their creative capacity. They are no longer able to think. Their imaginations point are dead. Now he says, all right, you will cry, all right, you will say, but if we take the set away, what shall we do to entertain? Very important thing. Now the guardians are saying, what they are saying? All right, you all will cry, all right, you will say, but if we take away the set away, what shall we do to entertain our children? Darling children, please explain. We all answer this by asking you, what used the daring ones to do? How used you was to keep themselves content? Have you forgotten? Don't you know? We will say it's a loud and slow. Then he says, it starts with the bold letter. Very important thing is that they used to read. They had read and then proceeds to read some more. Great Scott, Godzooks, 1/2 hour their lives was reading books. The nursery shelves should held books galore, cluttered off the nursery floor, and in the bedroom by the bed more books were waiting to the real. So what he is saying, Roald Dahl, he expressed his concern over the modern invention of television. He want to say that what he want to say, he's saying that television set has done to the children. He points out that the watching TV has become a craze in the modern time. Children of today spend hours and hours together in front of this idiot box. They spend almost an hours and hours to see this idiot box or television. Roald Dahl is addressing all the British parents that he wants to tell them that the most important thing one must learn while raising their children is to keep them away from the television set. He is requesting, he is praising to the guardians of the British guardians that please keep your children away from the television set. He also says that it is possible to come to better solution to the problem by not installing the television set in your homes in the first place. Dahl anticipates what the parent's next question would be. They might agree to take away the television set from their children but will ask how they will suppose now to keep their children entertained. How will they occupy their children busy? So Dahl tells parents that they cannot have forgotten how children kept themselves entertained before the recent inventions of the television. He is reminding to the guardians that there was no television during your time and what you was used to do. He is asking to the guardian what you used to do. Dahl says The alternate landscape that has been mentioned in the section of the poem setting in the landscape. Children's room should be filled to the brim of the books. There should be a lots of books to make the habit of reading. Now he says, such wondrous, fine, fantastic tales of. Now he is telling about the books, Harry Potter's and all the books. He is saying that selling ship of elephant. This is selling ship of elephant. Then he says, and the cannonballs couching round the pot and all the glorious books he is talking about here. He is saying that with Mr. Todd, or dragon gypsies, whales and treasures, isles, and pirates wearing the purple pants and sailing ships of elephants. He always saying that these are the books he is talking about. The younger Potter is all saying about the younger Beatrix Potter with Mr. Todd and Dirty Daughter and Squirrel Nutkins are lovely, just how the camel goes up to the hump and the monkey lost his rump and Mr. Todd bless the soul, there were rat and the mole. Oh books, what books do you know these children's long ago? So please, oh please, we beg to pray. Go through your TV a set away. Go throw your TV set away, a lovely bookshelf on the wall. He is describing in this line that please you, or he says that it is possible to come out to a better solution of this problem by not installing the television set in your home. He is saying that there are lots of books are there. There are Mr. Todd and Mr. Squirrel and the Nut King, Plinging Bland. All the books are there. So please make habit of giving the books to your children. He says that there are the fantasy stories of pirates, cannonballs, treasure islands, smuggler hush, sound, whales, dragons, and gypsies. The younger children were fascinated by the stories written by Beatrix Potter and has an animal character. Potter's book were known for their use of the animals as the characters and various colorful illustration. The stories about Mr. Todd and his dirty dog, a squirrel nutkin. So install your bookshelf. Install your bookshelf. Keep this book over there and make the habit of your children to read the book. Install a bookshelf in your house instead of the wall using for the television. Now he says that then till the shelves, lots of books, ignoring all the dirty looks, and they scream and yells bite not fear because of hearing and to something to read. What he says? He says that children of today spends hours together in front of idiot box. He is now addressing all the British parents and telling them that most of the important thing one must learn while raising children to keep away from this television set. He makes an earnest appeal to the parents to throw away their television sets and replace it with the bookshelf. Ignore all the objection of their children. Just ignore of all the objection of your children and feel sure that sooner or later the children will turn to reading the books habits as they pass the time. Poet want to say that the children will not be able to stop reading books once they had started, and then wonder will come. You will see that they had ever liked watching television. They will forget to watch the television if they make the habit of reading the books. In the end, children will thank their parents for introducing them to the books. Now he says that at once they started, oh boy, you watch the slowly. He says that they fill their heart, they will grow keen, and once they start, you will see what will happen if they start reading the book. The things will be happen that it will make the parents will be happy, and no sooner or later the children will turn in reading the books to pastime, and children will not able to stop reading books once they started. And according to the poet, once the television set is removed, they started reading the books, they will eventually forget the TV sets. The poet believes that watching televisions make children dull and unimaginative. The two reasons he says are, firstly, thinks the TV makes the young very lazy. They do not want to do any activity other than, secondly, that he assumes that block of their minds and imaginations, making them dull. So according to the poet, he want to say that children with nothing else to do will begin to feel need or to have something if they start reading the books. So please throw away the television and make habit of reading, and one day they would give them knowledge, they will get the wisdom, imagination, and more joy than what television offered. So that's all for today's session. We will once again meet in our next session with new topic, a new poem. Till then, have a nice day and take care of your health.